And we're back, dear viewers. As you know, children often lie as a normal part of their cognitive and social development, which can signal growth and an understanding of social dynamics rather than malicious intent. Reasons for lying include avoiding punishment, disappointing parents, testing boundaries, and as a sign of developing the theory of mind, which is the ability to understand that others have different perspective. To address a child's lie, parents should focus on fostering a safe space for honesty, avoiding harsh reactions, explaining the importance of truth, and modeling truthful behavior. So, dear viewers, today we have with us Linda P. Chibizhe from the educational psychologist. So, welcome to Good Morning, Linda. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, and you're most welcome. So, we'd love to know, when children develop a tendency to tell a lie,
Right.
Why does this happen usually?
So, like you rightly said at the beginning, that it's part of the social and cognitive development. So from around 2 to 3 years of age, the children are discovering that you have a separate mind to theirs, and they can, you can't read their minds. So they can start to tell that if I say something, you don't always know that I said this, and it's untrue. So they start to tell lies at around 2 to 3 years of age. But it's a good signal of growth, because it's cognitively they can realize that they are separate human and that they are growing. So it's partly good developmentally, but also to get out of trouble, to win friends, and to please adults. It's also part of the reasons that the children tell lies.
So as you mentioned, they start lying from the ages from 2 to 3. That's really early in the age, don't you think?
It is early, but it's a good signal. But as well, the type of lies that they tell at 2 to 3 years of age, they are inconsequential, which means that they don't really harm anybody. Did you eat your vegetables? Yes, I did, but they gave them to the dog. So, so it's not really consequential lies. 4 years of age, they start to tell lies that can be a bit more harmful.
All right. And is this lying part for children normal in these stages, or do they have to tell the truth always?
It is normal, because there is also the social aspect of it. It helps them to be socially adept, which means that they learn to read people's emotions, they learn to read people's faces, they learn to read, to lie with a straight face, and it really is just them developing socially into separate human beings.
All right. And when a parent, for example, notices that their children is lying, how should they approach them? Should they tell them that they are lying, or just go with the flow and see what's he all about?
Okay, so the most important thing when a child is telling lies, it's very important for the parent not to label the child. If you start calling your child a liar, then they're likely not going to be open to telling you other things. So it's very important not to label them a liar. And sometimes you can call it out and just name it. Hey, that's a very imaginative story. Maybe we should make a book out of that. And then the child will be like, oh yes, and then this and this and this. So it's always sometimes good to explore and see how far it goes.
All right. And as you said, how far it goes. And after, as a parent, I discover, for example, my child is lying and I know why he's lying.
Right.
After that, what should I approach him? You know what I mean? Like, as you said, we'd write a book about it. And then do I tell him, do I confront him and tell him, don't lie to me next time, just tell me the truth, or how does it go?
So when you've realized that the child is telling a lie, and you would want, as a parent, the first reaction is to confront it and to say, I don't like it, and it's bad to lie, and all those kind of things. It's also useful to be empathetic towards the children and kind of figure out what is the underlying reason that they're lying. It could be to protect somebody, it could be to not hurt your feelings, it could be for any number of reasons. Yes. So explaining the reason why for you why they should not do it is a big part, because then what it means is you will open up the conversation and say, hey, When you don't tell the truth, it makes it hard for me to trust you. So not just to say don't lie, but help them understand why they should rather tell the truth to you.
All right, Linda, you know, it's such a pleasure for you to be here on Good Morning Kuwait and explaining to our lovely parents watching us all about their children lying. And parents, if you find them lying, just go with the flow, as our guest here, Linda, said, and try to seek what they are up to after that. So we mentioned the ages that are from 2 to 3. And what about the elderly ages, like from 10 to 15? You know, they start lying more because they have the internet with them.
Right.
And that exposes them to newer content and maybe new lies to come up with.
All right. Definitely. Technology has an impact on how children tell lies. So, for example, if a child is a teenager, they can hide what they are viewing online and lie to you that I'm doing my math homework, or meanwhile they're playing a game. But those kind of lies have to be confronted, because a big part of having technology is safety. So the parents have to confront lies that are related to anything that is harmful to the person, to the child, anything that puts them in danger. You don't know who they're exposed to online, so that has to be a very harsh conversation about. When you hide what you're watching online, it makes it harder for me to protect you.
Yes, and as parents want to protect their children in the right way, Mrs. Linda, how do I advise them to correct their lies, or, you know, like not to take it to the extra step and be harsh with them?
So you can have appropriate consequences. So for example, as parents, what is your policy around a white lie? Oh, grandma, it's so great to see you, when in actual fact you had to drag them out of the house to come and see grandma. You know, lies that protect other people's feelings. What is your policy as parents? But the biggest thing is to make sure that they are feeling safe and protected, and they can come to you, and the conversation is open for later on.
All right. And as you said, yes, a lot of people, you know, or the children, they lie about they don't want to see their grandma, and when they actually see them, they're so happy to see them.
They have a fantastic
Is this part of their acting, or is it natural?
So with children, what they're doing in that moment is more important. Sometimes they don't have the urgency to think forward and to think about what I'm going to enjoy in about 10, 20 minutes. They are happy now. So that is the idea. It's not that they hate grandma or they don't want to go and see grandma. It's right now this game is so good, I don't want to leave it.
All right. Thank you for enlightening our dear viewers today about children lying. Dear viewers, if they're lying, it's mostly a white lie, for
It's
sure.
mostly a white lie, yes.
And how do you see children when they're lying most of the time and they're not being honest? What should a parent do to have this cause solved?
So a parent can actually decide to say to the child, hey, I know that was not true. I'm going to give you a chance to tell me the truth. So they explain that the consequences are a bit better when you don't tell a lie in the beginning, or the consequences don't happen if you tell the truth, right? So you show them the alternative of not lying, rather than saying, oh, you're going to lie, and just assume that they're going to lie. Have them, and sometimes children with impulsivity difficulties lie because they just have to say something, right?
All right.
So it's also time to be considerate and give them a time to think about what they're going to say. I'm going to give you another chance to tell me.
And as you mentioned before, that the internet now is here and it's incorporated with the children's life these days. And there is a lot of use of technology from these children with their iPad or the applications they use. Does this really affect them in their lives? Like, parents should seek maybe experts to handle these cases, or they should handle the case themselves?
The impact of technology on the children in terms of lying is really mostly related to hiding what they are watching online. But the more technical bit of it is Do they lie more when they are on the phone, where they need to answer the phone, you're calling, and they say to their friends, wait, my parents are calling, I need to think of something to say.
Yeah.
So in those instances, it becomes a bit different. Just try and track, do they lie more when they're on a phone call versus when they text, versus when they are writing an email or whatever it is. But definitely the exposure to technology gives more opportunity to lie. Oh, I'm around the corner, I'm 5 minutes away, and they're very fun.
All right, that's really beautiful from you, Ms. Linda, here for enlightening our parents today. So do you have any last message for our parents today, especially about this subject?
I think parents should be more empathetic towards the children. Growing up in this time is very different from when we grew up.
Yeah.
So just some empathy to the children that it's a difficult time. There's technology, you want to be popular with your friends, you want to lie in a TikTok, and it's just that empathy.
All right, thank you for your advice, Linda, and thank you so much for being here on Good Morning Kuwait.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome. So dear viewers, let's all thank the coming of our guest, Linda P. Chibizhe, the educational psychologist teaching us all about these beautiful children and here in the state of Kuwait. So thank you.
Thank you.
And dear viewers, now shall take a quick break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.